Well, welcome one and all. Good to have you all here today. My name is Reverend Michael McMorrow, the Unmasked Avenger. Hey, I just thought of that. What a whole pandemic year of the Masked Singer. We're all masked singers this year, right?
That's true.
Oh, there's something really sad and sick about that. All right. All right, so welcome. My name is Reverend Mike McMorrow. I'm the senior minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, California, which is in the North San Fernando Valley. If this is your first time visiting us, welcome. I'd like to introduce our assistant minister, Reverend Nancy Woods. And you already heard from our music team. I'll let Ken, our music director, introduce everybody later, but we're going to get started right now by taking a deep, conscious breath together and release. And in that release, just allowing ourselves to surrender and claim this eternal now moment as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call God. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. So as we light the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. The third candle we light for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The fourth candle we light for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. The fifth candle we light for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. The seventh candle we light for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here at our center, within our online community, and within our own hearts. And as Reverend Nancy lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own souls. There is one flame, one light within.
As I recognize that we are here this morning to honor and pay tribute to that divine light within, that presence of life that is within each and every soul, every being. And as we honor it, we honor the idea and understanding that this is this is what we came from. And as we stand in this experience, this hour, as we sharing it together, we share it from the place of understanding, deepening, and open our hearts and our minds to let it flow of that presence. And each and every aspect of this service that we share, each and everything we do today, comes from that place of what I call this loving, divine energy of being. And as we recognize it, embrace it, open our whole selves to the wonder of it, the glory of life shows itself in so many beautiful ways. And in this embracing of the presence and the wonder of life itself, we're grateful for everything that unfolds, the music, the words, the sharing, and even the service afterwards as we have our general meeting. All aspects of this gathering reveals spirit in a greater and greater way. And we can rejoice knowing that this is so for us. We can rejoice because this is our time to feel the wonder and the beauty of spirit itself. So, it is with great appreciation and embracing of this truth, these truths, that I welcome each one of you to join me in knowing this together as we say, and so it is. Oh, good morning. It's kind of interesting when I plan to come up here, I have many things that I want to say that I know that 5 minutes is a very short time to do that. But I recently learned about this guy named Ken Wilbert. And it's just another notch in that belt of the truth beginning to be known by so many in this world, because he's a wondrous way of blending that spirit and science. I love the way he does that. I love the way his mind works in the sense that he kind of is doing this adventure that Holmes had told all of us to do. And my teacher, Dr. Barker, says, now that you've taken all the classes, go and research your own understanding of this spiritual presence. And so the whole thrust that he's putting forth and the whole idea that is being expressed is that there is a divine presence that no matter what teaching, no matter where you're from, there is a thread that runs through it that says that is the power and the divine presence, and it is in us. It is what is brought us into expression and to unify and align with this understanding and this awareness is how we move into the living that life from ease and grace. And we as beings have placed so much reliance on the external that we have, even in our religion, we have been pulled away from this wondrous truth that each one of these teachers have offered to us. And the new teachers that are continuing to teach. And, it feels good to read and understand and to touch the different ones that are calling for us to all look within. Because sometimes I feel like, oh God, if I could just get this. And what I hear and what I feel from all these teachers, they were saying it too. They were trying. They kept going. And they knew it was more. Because what we are experiencing, what we're dealing with, is an infinite presence. So it's no use getting frustrated or angry of where you're not and where you haven't been. Just stay on the path and appreciate where you are on this journey. And you know, I guess that's why Eckhart Tolle keep telling us, stay in the current moment. Stay in this energy that you're in, and just feel yourself being okay where you are. And that which is in us will move us further along in awareness. And this, I got from this young man, he is so much about that. That we all are okay where we are. And it's when he talks about the meditation, the idea that he said prayer is religion and meditation is spiritual. And that meditation comes from every religion that has been taught. And that is when we spend time getting that thought process out of the way and allow the heart process to come forth into expression. And that is the energy that we are stepping into. That's why I appreciate Wednesday night, because it's kind of like unifying together so that we can all kind of feel it from each other, going from the feeling of the heart as we meditate together. And I am so appreciative when I have these types of experience. This is why I love this philosophy, because the doors are open. The roof, there's no roof on this. There is just an encouragement to stay on the journey. That's it, just stay on the journey. We all will get there. Everybody will get there. So if we just stay on this journey, the richness of it is never ending. And thank you for letting me share that.
Well, I just heard the news today. It seems my life is gonna change. If I close my eyes, I begin to pray. Then tears of joy stream down my face with arms wide open under the sunlight. Welcome to this place, I'll show you everything. With arms wide open, wide open. don't know if I'm ready to be the man that I have to be. So I take a breath, I'll take her by my side as we're standing on at this precious life with arms wide open under the sunlight. Welcome to this place, I'll show you everything with arms wide open. Now everything has changed. I'll show you love, I'll show you everything with arms wide open. If I had just one wish, only one demand, I hope he's not like me. I hope he understands that you can take this life and hold it by the hand, and you can greet this world with arms wide open. With arms wide open under the sunlight. Welcome to this place, I'll show you everything with arms wide open. Now everything has changed. I'll show you love, I'll show you everything with arms wide open. Wide open. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wide open. Yeah. Wide open.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
That was,
That was the coffee talking.
oh, that was Spirit saying yes. And I want to thank you for saying yes.
You're welcome.
Oh, that was awesome. Oh, I just love that. I love it when Spirit pulls it together. Isn't it sweet? Yeah. Oh, what am I supposed to be doing? Okay. Totally threw me off with that. Okay, so we're going to say the declarations of principles. So it's just, say them with me. We believe in one universal spirit manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe the universal spirit is personal too and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe our faith operates upon a law of mind which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life, the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the giveness of life to all.
2, 3, 4. Well, I release and I let go. I let the spirit run my life. Yeah, my heart is open wide. Yeah, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yeah, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. Where my fear, I see the light. I'm free in the Spirit. Yeah, I'm only here for God. Yeah, I'm only here for God. Yeah, I'm only here for God. Yeah.
Touchdown. Spike. Is that like an Eddie Vedder song you were doing earlier? Where was that? Creed. Yeah, they did, didn't they? Well, good is good. Nicely performed as well. So, thank you. All right, and today's theme is with arms wide open. And as we continue to explore the just being our monthly theme of open to possibilities, and this theme is timely today because today is our annual meeting. I think I have a slide here. So we do have our annual general meeting. If you haven't been paying attention to your email, you've been inundated this week with reminders and a lot of data. So I hope you were able to open it up. It's in Google Docs. And then if you so for instance, the questionnaire, if you download the questionnaire, you can then convert it to Microsoft Word and then fill out the questionnaire. We'll talk about that later. But it'd be great to get the questionnaire, the membership questionnaire from you, even if you cannot attend today. Right? So look for that, and please, 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 we'd love that data. Even if you have a complaint, we need to know that too. And since I'm not going to see you for a few months, this is a perfect time to do that. All right, so this whole theme is timely because it is time for our annual general meeting, and it's a good thing for spiritual community to be open to possibilities. Yes. And you know what? It's a good thing for senior ministers to be open to possibilities as well. So today, let's all open up to the possibility of sticking around for the general meeting. How about starting there? And so all are invited. So we sent out like 347 invites to this thing. So hopefully we'll have a nice turnout. It's all on Zoom, of course. And it's a report by all the board members and various ministries of the church, as well as a review of our financials and the state of the church generally. And it will get underway after the service today. We'll let Ken and Jason slip out, and after they exit and we take care of our own personal comforts, we'll be back on to start at 11:40, 11:45 at the latest. So this would be a good time. So we'll get to that. So today we are open to possibilities, and we're open to possibilities with open arms. So we are wide open for the next great yet to be. We are continuing this month to open ourselves up to the experience of the kind of life the Spirit has in mind. Not that we have in mind, but that the kind of life that the Spirit has in mind for us in ways that are more connected, creative, loving, and prosperous like never before. And so I love that Reverend Nancy kind of kicked this off by talking about Ken Wilber, because Ken Wilber explores the reality behind the thought, right? That there's a deeper thinker beneath our own surface mind thoughts. And this is precisely what we are attempting and opening up, we're not attempting, we are opening up to cultivate a relationship with that which is behind the thought screen, right? Because let's face it, sometimes our best thinking doesn't really get us very far. And so this is our opportunity through visioning. Through visioning, we are accessing that ultimate reality that is present at all times in all aspects of life, both animate and inanimate, all the various components that make up this life, from including right where you are at, to the furthest edges of the universe, to the very center where it all happened to 13.6 billion years ago or whatever it was, and then even beyond that, right? Beyond our human imaginings. So that when in this teaching we talk about that we are the individualized expression of that, that's what we're talking about. So we're recognizing that we have this infinite field of possibilities every human life has within it as the indwelling presence of that which is so much more than we are. That we, every human life has this potential for infinite possibilities. And when we use it in a conscious way, we are engaging in meditation, and then a form of meditation known as visioning, and yes, prayer as well. So I would take that up with Ken, that prayer isn't just about religion. Really what prayer is about relationship with that ultimate reality that we use this placeholder word called God or Spirit, or however you know that to be. So we're opening ourselves up to this in ways that are more connected, created, loving, and prosperous like never before. And so I thought it would be a good place to start today would be by wishing everyone a happy spring, first of all. Well, I didn't mean to get off on that little rant there, but there you go. That happens sometimes, yes? And so with open arms, we explore yet one more facet of our declaration of principles. When we speak to, we believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature. And that anyone, even you, even me, may become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with the indwelling presence. Now, don't you think this is a bold claim? I mean, I sure do. Anyone can become a revealer of truth. How? By living in close contact with the indwelling God. So we're talking about a real commitment here on our part. And this should fill us with a sense of being involved with the divine dance. Dancing around like Happy Snoopy. Right? And at the same time, we have to recognize that there are no half measures. There are no half measures to cultivate a sense of our intuitive and spiritual nature. Along with consistent affirmative prayer and meditation, visioning then is another tool we can use to open up to that revelation, to the Spirit's highest vision beyond my egoic earthbound, earth plane schemes, beyond from what I know, and instead to the divine, to open myself up to the divine impress of divine mind, living intelligence, the creative impulse of the universe itself, the Spirit. And allowing, drop shields down, and allowing the Spirit to have a moment with me in a conscious way. Now, sometimes that's in symbology and all kinds of stuff. You'll see once you start playing with it. And if you study it a little bit, you'll see that many people have really pressed the edges of this. It's a wonderful place to experiment in consciousness, this visioning thing. So then just a quick recap. Remember the questions we've been going over this all month. So what is Spirit's highest vision for my life? What's my role in that? What must I release? We talked about that last week. What must I release in order for the highest outcome of this situation to come about? What spiritual quality, the fourth step, what spiritual quality must I embrace for the highest outcome of this situation to come about? Well, that's what we're going to focus on today. And next week, we're going to open up to the idea, what else, if anything, would Spirit like to share with me about this situation? So these 5 questions, and by the way, I don't know about you guys, but my thing with visioning is that the steps don't necessarily need to be in order after that first step, right? Because we're just opening ourselves up to whatever, the flow. Right? So again, just like in spiritual mind treatment, let's not get all caught up in form, right? Let's not allow the editor to take over for the divine writer. Right? We're allowing the original thinker to write on our soul, if you like. So the 5 questions we ask ourselves to guide us to an opening, a willingness to be spiritually curious, a willingness to work with the edge of our life, rather than staying safe in the center, the place where it's easiest to remain insulated within our old thinking, with our own old perceptions, within our old ways of doing things. That's a safe place to be, right? Sometimes we'll stay there even if it's painful. And we can think of all kinds of examples how that is so in the psychological realm, where we stay stuck because we're addicted in relationships or to substances, or we have the golden handcuffs of a really great job that is sucking the soul out of us, right? There's 1,000 ways this can happen, yes? And so visioning allows us to explore stepping out of whatever that paradigm may be, out of the ways of thinking and doing as we currently know it. And, it's not always easy because, let's face it, we've worked on this stuff for a long time, right? It's really familiar. So, of course, my story has, I had a powerful thirst for many years. And it's such a silly thing to think of today. And, of course, most people who don't have this issue don't get it. But I knew I needed to stop drinking and not be so thirsty. But I couldn't imagine my life without thirst. I couldn't even imagine it. I mean, that was a couple of years scratching my head over that. How am I going to ask for a raise? How am I going to ask to go out on a date? Right? How am I going to do life? It's crazy, right? But when we get stuck in an addictive cycle, that's what it looks like. And that bottle was just a symbol of a thought form that people from all ways of life can get caught up in. So what spiritual quality must I embrace for the highest outcome of this situation to come about? So let me just take a moment. So this scene here, while we go into something that Reverend Jeffrey Ryan is going to share with us, this is out of the back door of Reverend Mary Helen Hensley. You remember my friend Mary Helen from Athlone. This is what she gets to look at every day, where she lives in Athlone. Quite beautiful, yes. So this is in Ireland, in case you are new here. All right. So Reverend Jeffrey Ryan, he's got I think he's been out at Riverside now for about a year. He asked, and he's the lead of CSL visioning team this year. He asked this question: what beliefs, ideas, and actions must we embrace, embody, and become to live in alignment with the vision? Embracing these things brings us to the realization of the vision. So remember, what we first started out was with the question. What the next step with that first question then, let me just quote it rather than wing it. So what is Spirit's highest vision for my life, my situation, for my job, for my marriage, whatever it is? What is Spirit's highest vision? So the first step sets the vision if we capture it. The next steps cultivate a sense of ownership to the grand idea that is longing to make itself known. Longing to make itself known. So this is right in alignment with Ernest Holmes when he says we should take the highest thought we have and attempt to enlarge on this consciousness until it embraces a more vital concept, vital concept of reality. That consciousness in this sense, consciousness in this sense means an inner embodiment of ideas. An inner embodiment of ideas, consciousness. So embrace, embody, and become. So let's break that down for a moment. So what Reverend Jeffrey is talking about here. Okay, so embracing something or someone is an act of receptivity and implies a level of enthusiasm so that we cannot experience what we are unwilling to receive. So here we see that law of circulation showing up one more time. We cannot have or experience what we are unwilling to receive. So the next step then he spoke to was embody. Embracing an idea is an opening in consciousness. Embodying an idea is a demonstration of consciousness. You see that? That's subtle, but important. Embracing an idea is the opening, and then embodying the idea, this is the actual demonstration. That's what we see. That's what we see. Well, we don't always see it. That's what our friends oftentimes see before we see it, right? That's the demonstration. To embody something is to go beyond mental, intellectual knowledge of something, and to go beyond, and instead have a heartfelt understanding of it. So it becomes more of a heart-mind thing, and it becomes more of an integrated potential, which then demonstrates as reality. So in both embracing and embodying are activities of consciousness cultivation. Consciousness cultivation. So here we are again, right? We're working the fields, right? We're working our field of thought, cultivating, embracing, and embodying as an activity, as an action, right? So visioning is not just about sitting on your duff and pondering, right? That's thinking, not visioning. Embracing and embodying our activities of consciousness cultivation. Becoming, on the other hand, is an act of allowing. So now we're really stepping into this idea of the vision by becoming. It's an allowing. It is allowing that which you already are to come forth. And so there's a confidence within this, because we understand that there is available to us at all times an infinite power, an infinite presence. It's always present everywhere. It's activating every aspect of us in the biological realm at every atomic level of our being. It's creating this pattern of perfection that expresses as radiant good health, as it fires every neuron of our mind as we align with this pattern of perfection, that every wrinkle of our cortex is enlightened and enlivened with this power and presence and thought activity of divine mind expressing as our individualized expression of it. This is a pretty bold claim. I mean, every time, even when I say that, I'm like, wow, that is like really kind of wild. But all of it is anchored in spiritual practice, in prayer and in meditation, in affirmative prayer. Right? So the way that we understand prayer is that we first, again, cultivate, embrace, and embody that we are one with the infinite power and presence of the divine. That all of existence, in ways seen and unseen, is an emanation from the divine mind, including you and me. And that we demonstrate in the finite world all the various characteristics and aspects of the divine on this infinite expression. As the ultimate reality. Now, that thought alone, man, that'll take you down the rabbit hole considering that one. But can you see how it has so much potential within it? If we can get our finite self out of the way for just a few moments. When we ask envisioning, well, let me just say this, because Reverend Jeffrey goes on to say, so embracing and embodying our activities of consciousness cultivation, and becoming, on the other hand, is an act of allowing. It is allowing that which you already are to come forth. So it was Peter remembering the truth of who he is that allowed him to come to Jesus on the water. So this is referring to the biblical story from, I don't remember which book, but where Jesus is out on the boat and there's a storm and Peter sees him out there and he kind of forgets that he's just a mortal man. So he jumps out of the boat to be with him, and then he realizes, oh crap, I'm out here in the water. And he realizes, I'm just a mortal man, and then down he goes. Right? That's how the story goes. Right? So Jesus reaches down, pulls him up, and they walk back to the boat. That's a really gross paraphrasing there. You might want to look that up and check its accuracy for reporting. The truth is that, or the point is that taking this story as a metaphor and looking for the metaphysical implications in it, right? It was Peter remembering the truth of who he is that allowed him to come to Jesus on the water, right? We have to do the same thing. Remember the truth of who we are. Spiritual beings having this human experience with all the infinite potential of the divine mind being our mind expressing. So when we ask envisioning, what must I become? We are asking, what divine qualities within me am I being called to remember my truth? So I can see that I've been, I've got to wrap this up because I went off on a few tangents today. But being the truth, or at least an awareness of it, we can then come to the vision because we are in complete alignment with it. First we be, and then we become. Then the vision then pulls us to it. That there is a flow in the process. We're not forcing anything. Sometimes when we sit to vision, may feel like nothing's happening. Ray Jordan, who's one of the practitioners who helped develop this thing and teaches visioning. So Ray Jordan, we're going to close on her, but look up Ray Jordan, right? Oh, you guys can't see that. But Ray Jordan has a YouTube video. It's about 5 minutes long, and she talks about how she used to avoid meetings where they were going to be visioning. She's like, oh, God, not this again. And I just laughed to myself because I could hear myself in her story. And then one day, boom, the vision caught her. And after that, she was hooked and, in fact, became a teacher of it. And check out the video. It's worth checking out. All of this by saying, I just encourage you to keep playing with it. And also to remember that visioning is but one tool, of which meditation is a component. So it's not an either or, but a both and. That's meditation, vision, and spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. Because we truly are inviting the divine to make itself known and to make ourselves aware of its presence. To make ourselves aware of that which is always present. So let's call the musicians up before I get off on another tangent. We have a big day ahead of us today. Ernest Holmes said this, just take a deep breath while the fellows get settled here and release. Holmes said this, that we should take the highest thought we have and attempt to enlarge on this consciousness until it embraces a more vital concept of reality. To who? To God? No, to us. Right? We have to release the attachment to the great forgetter. And with anchoring in the breath, to allow ourselves to become the rememberer that God is always present, that the Spirit is good all the time. So we have this highest thought. We not only attempt to enlarge on this consciousness, but we allow it to grab us and embrace a more vital concept of reality. That consciousness in this sense means an inner embodiment of ideas. And so today, as we go forward after the annual general meeting, let us allow ourselves to consider the ways that we are now open to have a greater idea of our life. Right? Within the week, within the month, within the summer, things are changing. Things are opening. Right? Let's make sure we're opening along with them. And then check in next week and see where we're at. Take it away, fellas.
I've always put up my fences, held my defenses in front of me, not knowing my heart was in prison, till you gave me wisdom to find the key. I'm ready to begin. I'm open and love's coming in when you move through me, when you move through me. You give me the confidence to take back my innocence through me. change would come my way, till I drove a highway that was free and clear from all my regrets. I'm open to what's coming next when you move through me, when you move through me. You give me the confidence to take back my innocence through me. I am tired of all my excuses. So I close my eyes, and the one thing that I know is true, there's nothing that I can't do. Yeah. When you move through me, when you move through me, you give me the confidence to take back my innocence. When you move through me, when you move through me, you give me the confidence to take back my innocence. When you move through me, when you move through me, yeah, when you move through me.
Very nice. I know Laura Berman would be thrilled with your version of that. Nicely done.
Good.
Yeah. We listened to that CD a lot at home.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, so it is time to practice the law of circulation by means of our offering. So we do have many ways that you can participate in that. So you can get to our website these days at cslgh.org. You'll see an orange donate button. That'll take you to the PayPal portal, which looks like that. You can use your debit or credit card there. And you can even set up a recurring thing if you like. If you have a phone, you'll get to just enter in cslgh.org, and it'll take you right to our landing page with the donate button, and then the PayPal portal looks like this on your phone. And if you're on the YouTube channel, it's the icon to the far right-hand side. How am I doing there? Doing okay? And then if you're on Facebook, you can make a donation on your Facebook page just by hitting the donate button. So they actually do not charge nonprofits. So we get the money a little later, but they don't take a piece of it. Of course, you can continue to mail in your donations, or the easiest way is to use bill pay. It comes in the mail. And it's a check that looks just like this. So it's it's a great way to do it. And so for now, we're going to give you some time now. Ken and Jason are going to take you into our offering chant and give you time to do that.
3, 4.
Spirit gives through me, Spirit receives through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me. receives through you. Spirit lives and breathes through you. Spirit lives and breathes through you. Spirit gives through us. Spirit receives through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Yeah.
So just taking a deep breath one more time. And just recognizing and knowing that however they get here, that this basket represents the giving consciousness of the individual that knows and knows that it knows that God is our source, our substance, our supply. And so through the generous heart of the individual, we, representing the heart of this spiritual community, accept these gifts with deep respect and love, knowing that they go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless not only the vision and mission of this Center for Spiritual Living and its online outreach, but also extends to anyone connected to our center in any way. In fact, we extend this blessing joyfully on our friends within our community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them, including our parents. That we also know that when we look into the outer world, that all of it is an emanation of the divine mind in the expression. And to the extent that we know this to be so, we see it. We see it demonstrating in all the sweet ways, great and small. This lifts our heart. We feel a sense of grace and power that propels us into ways of spiritual living that not only raise ourselves, but those around us. And that's a good thing. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. So, again, stick around for the general service meeting. So please help me thank our soloist today, our own music director, Mr. Ken Francis.
Thank you.
Backed up in professional style with the jazzy musings of Jason Goldstein. Thank you very much. And so Reverend Nancy's going to pray us out, and we'll see you in about 10 minutes.
So as we express our gratitude, we express it because we appreciate the opportunity and the experience to experience a glorious expression of life, love, and joy. And as we know that what has happened today, what has been revealed, the message, the music, all aspects, as it blends together and comes forth into expression, we know that our heart is open to that quality of God that helps us step into the greater being of ourselves. And as we accept that this is already so, and we can relax and allow it to manifest itself in, through, and around everything that we do, say, or express, its revelation is fully and clearly an activity in our lives right here and right now. And in this awareness and in this understanding that we go forth to take these truths and to embody them in such a way that they give us a chance to be the light of who and what we are. And as we know this and understand this, we say, we love you, Spirit. We love being an expression. We love knowing and understanding the divine presence of who and what we are. So it's with a glorious feeling of appreciation. I say thank you and welcome you to join me in this wondrous feeling of being, spirit in expression. as we say together, and so it is.
Please join us in singing the peace song. A 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3.
Let this be my joyous vow to take each moment in